guys, I hope you would have seen the concept of factorial of a number. Let me just give you a brief overview of what it is. Factorial of a number is nothing but you keep repeatedly multiplying the number starting from 1 till you reach the given number, and what is the answer you get is nothing but you call as a factorial of a number. Let me give you an example. Let us take the number 4. Start with 1. Next number it is we have not reached 4 yet, so take the next number 2, multiply it. 1 into 2 is 2. Still we have not reached 4, so take the next number 3, multiply it. 2 into 3 is 6. We have not reached 4, so take the next number, it is 4. We have reached 4, so with this multiplication we need to stop. So till now we got 6 as the answer of multiplication, and multiply 4 to it, you get 24. That is their answer. So we say factorial of 4 is 24. That is 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 is 24. That is what you call as factorial of a number. You start from 1 and keep multiplying the next numbers until you reach the given number n to get the factorial of the number n. If n is the given number, in my case it is 4, n equal to 4. So if the given number is n, you start off with 1, 2, 3 and so on till you reach n. Keep multiplying, and what is the final answer you get is what you call as n factorial. Okay, so how would we program it? As you would have guessed from the procedure of calculation I had said, we can do it using iteration. Let us do that. So I said factorial, that is a functionality we need. So let us define a functionality, factorial. We need to find the factorial of a given number n. So let me define n here. Okay, so I need to start from 1 and go till I reach n. So we can use for loop, right? But for loop uses the function range to deal with numeric values, and as you would have seen in your previous videos and till the practice you had till now, range function would take, if you ask for range of 5, it would start by default from 0 and it will count till 4. That is, if you say 5, it will count 1 less than that. That is how it does. But we wanted to start from 1 and we wanted to count up till n. So we need to tweak in with the range function to get this thing. So we can define the start value for the range function. If we don't give a start value, till now we hadn't given the start value for most of our programs. So if we don't give a start value, the default start value is taken as 0. But we can tweak in, we can give some start value as well. So let me do that in this program. So I need to store the product. So let me call a variable called product. So initially we have 1 as the product, because with 1 if you multiply anything you will get the same number as the answer. So you keep multiplying, but from where should you start? 1 into 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into up to n. This is how it has to be done, right? So we have to start our multiplication from 1. So let me define something called a product which carries the value 1 initially. Okay, so let me use the loop to iterate over the range, that is to move over the range of numbers from 1 up till n. So I need to start from 1. So let me say for I in range of, I can give a start value as I had said, start value 1, comma, the stop value. So whatever is the stop value, it will stop 1 less than that. I want to stop at n, so what should I be giving here? N plus 1. A simple tweak. So in this range, that is from 1 to n plus 1, that is 1, 2, 3, it will count up to n. So this is what we wanted. We had taken that value as I. whatever is the new product after taking this I will be whatever the product till now multiplied with I. I hope you understand this. That is, if I want the factorial of 3, whatever is the product, how will I do? 1 into 2 is 2. Till now my product is 2. 2 into 3 is 6. This is how I take the factorial. So whatever is the product we had computed till now, that product into this particular value of I. This is how we compute the factorial. So at the end of the loop, that is till you have reached n, whatever you keep multiplying, whatever is the product, that is your answer. So you have to return the product here. So this particular functionality will take a number n, find its factorial and return the answer. That is what it is doing. So I have to use this functionality. I have defined the functionality. Now I am going to use this functionality. So let me take an input. Input generally takes in terms of strings in Mac. So I need to typecast it to int. This is a Mac dependency, that's it. It may differ from operating system to operating system. With practice, you will get to know how your operating system expects your input syntax to be. Based on that, you please modify this. I am doing this with corresponding to Mac. So I am typecasting it. I am taking the input. Let me say enter the number. I will get a number. But see, factorial is defined only for positive numbers. For negative numbers, factorial is not defined. In mathematically, factorial is defined only for positive numbers. If the number 0 is given, what is the case? 0 factorial has been defined as 1. That is a mathematical definition. That is why, see, I had defined the product as 1. In case if I give 0 for I in range 1, 1, so it will not at all go inside the loop. So it will directly return the value of 1 here. So this is like a dual advantage sort of thingy. 0 factorial is 1. Also 1 is a number with which you multiply any number, you will get back the same number. So these are the reasons why we started off the initial product value with 1 here. Okay, so you can give 0 but not any negative numbers are allowed. Enter a positive number. So let me give a clear message. Enter a positive number. I am asking you to enter a positive number. If the user still enters a negative number, we should be smart enough and we should not allow this input. So I should check it. If n is less than 0, that is, it is a negative number, I should display a message that factorial is not defined on negative numbers. See, why we are doing this is what we call as fault tolerant nature. If the user by mistake has given some input which is actually incorrect, we should not throw at him some random results and terrifying him. We should give him a polite message so that he can understand what is the mistake he has done and he will not repeat it. So this is one of the software engineering principles we are following. If n is less than 0, that is, it is a negative number, say that factorial is not defined on negative numbers. Else, let me say factorial, right? So let me say f for factorial. I will get back the answer. I will call factorial of n. So I had called the factorial of n. So it will return an answer, right? That answer will be captured in f. So now I have to print it. So let me print it. Print. Let me say factorial of n is f. That is n factorial is f. That is what we want it to be printed. So let me save the code. Let me run it, or maybe I'll give you a very brief intro. It will take an input. It will check if it is a negative number. For negative numbers, since mathematically factorial is not defined, we display the message that it is not defined. If it is a positive number, it will start computing the factorial. So how factorial is computed is, you start off from the number 1 and keep multiplying the consecutive numbers till you reach the given number n. And at the end of this multiplication, whatever is your answer is what you call as the factorial. So you return that particular product and you print it here. Factorial of n is this. You are printing it. This is how the working is. Let us execute the program. Let me run it. Okay, it is asking me to enter a positive number. Let me show you. Let me enter a negative number. See, factorial is not defined on negative numbers. So this particular thing is fine. Okay. So let me run again with the correct input, positive input. Let me give a number 6. Okay, factorial of 6 is 720. 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5 into 6 is 720. That is what is displayed as the answer here. Fine. So our program works fine. This is not the only way to calculate factorial. There is another way as well. So you can understand that way. For that, please do observe the solution. Try enumerating, running program on different inputs. You will find some pattern. If you are able to crack the pattern, you will understand the alternative way of calculating the factorial.